Welcome to this tutorial of Electroman Adventures from the game Geometry Dash. We're going to start off with the first right-hand theme. It's going to be broken up into 4 different little sections, and you'll see why here in a minute. We're going to start off with this. Now, the beginning is just these 3 notes, F sharp, G sharp, and B. And I've got my 3rd finger on G sharp, 2nd on F sharp, using my pinky on B. We start on G sharp, play it again, go up, back to G sharp, down to F sharp, and back to G sharp. So all together. Then we end it with B, F sharp, B. Now this beginning part is going to be used for each of the 4 phrases, or each of the 4 parts of this whole phrase. So the second part is going to be, see, starts off the same way. And then we do G sharp, B, G sharp quickly, down to D sharp with our thumb. And we play an A natural with our 4th finger. So those 2 measures together are going to sound like this. So that's that part. So back to the first part is, the second part is, the third part, again, starts off the same way. And this time I'm going to use D sharp, F sharp, and G natural. It's going to be. Now I'm using my 2nd finger on F sharp, and I'm just going to slide up to play the G because I need my 3rd finger for G sharp coming after this. So it's going to this little third part is going to be. And then we end it with the 4th part is. Again, start off the same way. And the second half of this is kind of like back in part 2 where we went, except we're going to change out the last 2 notes. We're going to go start off with G sharp, B, G sharp, just like we did before. And we're going to stretch up with our pinky, hit the C sharp, come down to the F sharp. Notice I didn't try to hold that C sharp when I came to the F sharp. I just let my hand come along with it. So it's. So parts 3 and 4 together sound like this. Now let's hear all 4 parts put together. Now let's look at the next melody the right hand is going to play. We're going to be using an A sharp in here instead of the A natural like we did in the previous melody. And I'm also going to slide my hand up so that I got my 3rd finger on the A sharp, 2nd finger on G sharp. I'm going to start off like this. Start off on A sharp, up to B, repeat the B, back to A sharp, down to G sharp, down to E with the thumb. And then we're going to repeat it, except the last note is going to change to a D sharp, like this. Now, back to back. And then we go. See, it starts again, same way. We come up here to the pinky with C sharp. So it's C sharp, B, A sharp, B, A sharp, G. Sounds like this. Now if I put it all together, that's it. We'll play it twice. The second time we're going to move up an octave, but it's going to be the exact same notes. Now let's look at the left hand. The left hand is going to start us off. Now, here's middle C, so we're going to come down an octave, and we're going to come to this G sharp right here below bass C. So here's bass C, the G sharp right below. And we're going to play with our second finger on G sharp. The thumb's going to come up to B, and we'll have third finger on F sharp, and the pinky on D sharp. So that's the opening lick. G sharp, G sharp, B, B, G sharp. And then we end with that D sharp, F sharp. Then we go back to, so it starts off the same, and then we finish a little bit differently. We go F sharp, G sharp again, just like I was doing the right hand. I'm going to do F sharp and G sharp. I'm going to just use the same finger and slide up. It's not too hard to do, and it keeps it to where when I play the G sharp following that, I can use the same finger I've been using. So those first two parts go like this. And then we do this, which is exactly what we did the first time. And then we do this, which is exactly what we did the first time. So we're going to play this. And then we'll repeat it. The whole thing. Now the next part that our left hand is going to do is going to be while the right hand is playing its melody. That part, left hand is going to play something similar just to help it along. So G sharp, B, G sharp. And just like we were doing before with the left hand, D sharp, F sharp. And then so that's what the left hand is doing. It's just playing this one pattern. And it's just going to repeat it over and over again. Now when we get to the part where the right hand does this, the left hand is going to play some long notes. It's going to play G sharp, E, B, F sharp, C sharp. So it'd probably be good to start with our third finger on G sharp. So it's just those 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 notes that we play there. And so that's going to be what the left hand plays during that part. So let's look at how the hands go together. So for this part where we got and the left hands, they go together like this. So they start off with G sharps together. And when the right hand gets up to the B Well, that's when the left hand's playing is B. And then at the end of the measure, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. At the end of the measure, that's when the left hand comes back in with this G sharp. So like this. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Left hand comes on 3 and 4. So those two measures together. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. The next two measures, left hand doesn't change, right hand does. So we got 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. So we end with two quarter notes together. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Then we move to the next one. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Again, it starts off the same every time. 1. So rest on 1, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. See that? 1, and 2, and 3. Oops, I kind of wrong. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So we got 1 and 2, and right hand by itself, then D sharp and F sharp together. G natural and F sharp. That rubs a little bit there. It's a little dissonant, but it's kind of cool because it just for a quick second, it does it, and then it gets right back to being together. So that part is 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Then we finish it off 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Should be familiar. It's the same thing we've done for each of the four little parts when we broke it up, at least for the first measure. And then we have 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Yeah, see how that works the same as we did in part 2. We had that with these two quarter notes at the end, but here we got these two quarter notes. Still the left hand comes at the same time. 1, and 2, and 3, 4. So that last, the fourth part of this first melody is 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. So here's that entire first melody with both hands. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 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 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's take a look at the next part. So remember, I'm going to move my left hand up to have third finger on G sharp. I'm going to slide my right hand up to have my third finger on A sharp. So this is a little easier to put together. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So that when I get to that last note of the measure on the and to 4, that's when both hands play E. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, like that. And then it ties over to the next measure. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So again, came on the and. I got D sharp in the right hand. When I go to that thumb note, that's when my left hand changes. So those two measures back to back. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. And then the next measure we have 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Again, get to the and of 4. Both the left hand moves to match the right hand. You got F sharp in the left hand when you play that C sharp in the right hand with the pinky. And then we finish it off and 2, and. So you play a C sharp when you play that B. So I'm going to do those two measures. So I'm sitting here from the previous measure and going into the third measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if you've got the right hand melody down, focus on when the left hand changes to matching up with the right hand, of how it changes, what time it changes, what note you're playing in the right hand when you switch with the left hand. So I'm going to play that entire phrase, that second melody. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to play that entire second melody with both hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then you would just repeat that with the right hand up an octave. Now the entire arrangement of it is going to be the left hand starting off with that pattern. And then we're going to follow it with this. That melody. And then we'll follow it with that melody. And then we end it back where we began. Sorry. So that's the arrangement of it from the beginning to the end. But let's hear what it sounds like from the beginning to the end without me talking about it, but just playing it. That's the entirety of it.